Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous Redux version. I'm your host, Colors Fade. It's episode 6. We're in the Defender's Heart. We have a bunch of quests, and we need to rest. Spies amidst our ranks, the Tower of Estrad. Show Iridith. Dispatch, we've done that. Gwyrm family secrets. We have to talk to Holgus Gwyrm. There he is. 1,000 gold coins for you, just as promised. You helped me get back to the surface, and I duly paid you for escorting me. Holgus Gwyrm always keeps his word. Now, speaking of our future cooperation, I have a job that would be perfect for someone like you. Naturally, I'll pay generously for your services. Okay. What kind of reward are we talking about? 1,000 gold coins. I don't think I can make that diplomacy check, so I'm just going to say, what does the job... Well, let's try it. Oh, I succeeded. Unfortunately, you can't hover over... Oh, you can. You can hover over and find out what you needed. I rolled a 14. Oh, got it by 3 points. It's awesome. All right. Deal. So what's the job involved? You shall be my bodyguard. You see, I have good reason to return to my mansion here in Canabras. I still have... Well, it doesn't matter. It's none of your business. My mansion is a breathtaking building with a large garden in the wealthy part of the city. Even before the demons attacked, every thief and fraudster in the city had tried to get inside one way or another. I shudder to imagine the state it's in now. I have little hope that my guards were able to hold the mansion during the attack, and I expect the servants fled when they saw the demons. Alright, so Holgus wants us to go to his mansion, and we will. Marvelous, most excellent, he says. So we'll do that. I like this part of the game. Canabras. Just running around the city doing a bunch of different quests for people. We're not going to kill Ramian. Stay of execution. Common cause. Anyway, all this other days of strife. Alright, and no better time for a banquet. So, let's go get some rest. Oh, did we empty our pockets? No, we did not. That's half the point for coming back, is to sell all our goods here. Show me what you have. I'm going to bulk sell all of that junk. That's 1,000 gold pieces right there. Let's see. All that pricey stuff should be at the top. Cold Iron Masterwork Longsword. This is a dueling sword, but we don't have any duelists with us. A Warhammer one-handed... I know who would use that, so we might hang on to it. Short sword we might hang on to. Nobody's going to use a sai. This is also the Masterwork Heavy Mace. It's not cold iron, though. So we'll just pluck away at the rest of this. What's this? This is a Masterwork Composite Longbow. Okay, in that case, what the heck just happened? Oh, it scrolled on me by accident. Let's see. I need to save maybe one of those heavy crossbows. The rest of these I can get rid of. Alright. And then nobody we know uses a scimitar. This is a club with nails. Deals an additional 1/3 piercing damage. Nobody's going to use that. Nobody's going to use a short spear. So we'll get rid of all that stuff. And save one breastplate back. Nobody's going to wear that hide armor. Alright. Now we want to take a look at... Ooh, he's got fancy stuff. Doc, Omen. The wearer of this ring has the ability to cast spells spontaneously. It grants him ability to cast the following spells. Ray of Enfeeblement, Scared. Ray of Exhaustion, Fear. Not worth it. There's another ring in the game that does something similar to that, but has far better spells. Glove of the Neophyte. Not interesting. Dark Veil. Once per day, you may use this item, grant your party total concealment against range attacks. Spicy pastry. We should buy all of those things. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Is there going to be a bag of holding in here? I don't think so. All the rest of this is stuff we sold. So I don't think he has a bag of holding. But you always want to check the vendors for that. Because, oh, there it is. Bag of holding, small. Yes, please. Yeah, potions. Potion. Okay, let's do that. Go in here. Date from newest to oldest. And copy that recipe. Alright. I found a place in the game that gives you a lot of diamond dust. It's very cool. In my other playthrough, and I was like, oh, really? I have to make a note of that. Alright, spells, just to make sure that we're ready to go. We can't cast level 2 spells yet, so we'll rest. We could prepare potions or scribe scrolls if we knew how to do either one of those things. Not a big deal. Kitty cat. And we still don't have all of the market square. Uh-oh. Demons! The demons are attacking. Oh no. Oh no. I'm not ready for this. Okay. Well, we're going to have to give it our best old college try then, aren't we? I guess that's what this episode's going to be about. Okay. Well, let's save that. Actually, what I wanted to do was save it as... I want to save it as that, because that's what's going to happen. This is a bit of a lengthy one. Ready yourself. Attack is imminent. Alright, none of my people know the first thing about magic, so your help will be invaluable. If you will allow me, I'd advise you to prepare spells that can disarm or distract large groups of attackers. They will swarm us. Yes, they will. Alright, please keep in mind, according to my sources, a master alchemist called Otharubo has recently arrived in the city. He's a well-known character among demon worshippers. We don't expect him to show up personally, but thanks to him, the cultists have been prepared a whole cart full of incendiaries. They will try to burn the defendant's heart to the ground. The arsonists are the main target. Keep an eye on them and take them down first. Alright. Well, I am not going to prepare a bunch of defensive spells, because it doesn't really help that much. Ember, she's our main healer. Everybody else, okay. Let's try this. If it doesn't work, we'll roll with a different group of banditos. This is a battle. The very first time I played this game, it's a very long battle. And the very first time I played, I tried to do it in turn-based mode. Not realizing that the game is not necessarily as optimized for turn-based mode as it is for real-time with pause. And the battle took like 2 hours, and it was miserable. And that's when I learned that you're way better off in this game. For some unknown reason, you're way better off just doing real-time with pause. So, what we're going to do, go like this. Me, start buffing. Let's see if we can get that up. Ember, you don't need to necessarily buff yourself. I want you to, yeah, just shoot. I gave myself mage armor, now I give myself that. Woljif, my friend. Okay. Do you have a bow? Let's go with this. You have Masterwork longbow, composite longbow, Masterwork composite longbow. Story told. You can't use either one of those, but you can use crossbow. I want him out of harm's way.
Cover me, all right?
You're kind of better off at long range here. Lan. Okay, where am I at? Oh yeah, Sela's got the big gun. Okay. Come back here. I need the whole team back here. Come back this way. Yeah, you're gonna poke that thing. Why don't you shoot at him? Why don't you shoot at him?
Why not both?
Okay. Sela. Go get him. Me. Go get him. Victoria. Victoria's gone forever.
The light take you.
You really gotta micromanage this.
You won't survive me.
Well, Jiff.
I'll hit you.
That's the objective, honey. Okay. These three hombres here. I need you guys fighting this stuff here. There you go. There is a wall of people here that are kind of prepared to defend. So, you guys go take that down. Ember, someone is hurting my boy.
Endure this.
So you can help
Distract
that.
them for me.
I think we're gonna be okay if you turn around
Make
and
every
shoot
strike
that guy.
Can't you just die already?
Be nice. Excellent. Keep shooting right there. And then the whole thing is gonna switch over here pretty soon. But tavern defenses are still at 12. These guys will want to come in, so just... What are you doing, Victoria? Hammer. There you go. Excellent. You three.
Strike with all your might.
We'll just keep shooting up here. Ember. Keep shooting up here.
Stop us.
Okay. Ember over here. I gotta get some potions for my eyes. This is the one time in the game when you really need to have some potions at the ready. What's this spell? Scroll of Hypnotism. All enemies in a 30-foot burst. We might want to hang on to that. Let's see what else do we have. She has haste, which will be really useful later. She needs to go large. I don't need restoration right now. Okay. So Sela. Cutting some stuff down. You do that. Ember, you heal me. Ember, do it again. Since I rolled such a low score. All three people over here. How are we doing? Tower defense is still up. They're trying to hurt this, but... Okay. You three. Back to here. Woljif, yes. Shoot them.
Time to share your treasures.
Where's Ember? Get over here. Okay, do your big healing. Do you have your big heal yet? No, you just have treat affliction. Okay. Just what she got. This. Okay. One more for you.
Yes.
Sela, do it. Man, you're a little close, buddy. Yeah. They're all gonna try to come down through these stairs, so there's a nice little bottleneck. Your feeble resistance is at an end. Okay, boss. Oh, I got someone stabbing on my side. Defenders at the defender's heart. Who's this? That's me. What am I doing? No. Come over here. I don't want you anywhere near that fire, though. That's kind of the problem. Here. While you got a minute, buff yourself. Woljif. Start shooting this guy. You start shooting him. Ember, start shooting him.
Surrender or else.
Sela. Okay. Everybody who's over here, be careful. Come back this way. Let the grunts do the work. Because here they come. They're coming right through the middle.
Too late for apologies.
You dingbat. Don't always do what you want. There we go. Where are my archers? There they are.
I'll
Shoot this
hit
guy.
you.
Oh, you guys. You need to start shooting that
You've
thing.
crossed the wrong mongrel.
Wrong mongrel. Okay. You three, stop it. Go for the nearest person. Go for the nearest person.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
Okay. Still come over here. This thing's coming. That stuff's working out pretty well. Again, okay, so what I'm going to do with you guys is do this. I'm going to put the lock on you, because I can't trust you. There we go. You guys, get over here.
Cover me, all right? I didn't know I had it in me.
Back up, back up, back up. Shoot that thing. Ew. Okay, heavy hitters. Over here. Ember.
That's how you hit them.
Like this. I'm killing this guy. Where's Sealing? Kill this guy.
I win.
Like it. Keep healing people. Sela.
The light. Take you.
Oh yeah, baby. Okay. I'm gonna be over here. Here they come. Here come the fatties. Ugh. This is always a big challenge. Alright, so one of the things I like to use right about here, if I had it. Oh, I don't have it memorized. Okay, hold on. Let's see what spells we have here by type. We've got Bane. That's something that I can't really use, and neither can she. So, Ember? Not really. Haze of Dreams. Fairy Fire. Scroll of Invisibility. Not big deals. Doom. You can see nobody can really cast those. Remove sickness, blah, 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 blah. Protections. Magic missiles. You can do some magic missiles if you want. So I was hoping for grease, but I don't have one. Alright. Well, in that case, you, my friend, may need to do that. Hold on. Again. This. What is this potion he has here? Potion of Featherstep. Okay, not a big deal. Ember. Get you. How are you doing? You're not greased up. This is what? Mage armor. Don't have to worry about that right now. Ear-piercing scream. I'm gonna try to make sure everybody has enough to live on here. Okay. So, let's see. That beast is gonna come right in here. What do I want to do? I'm going to use that spell here in a second. I'm going to cast this on myself. Woljif, you're going to get up here. Victoria's going to take a chunk out of him. Sealer, you should hit that guy. Land, try to shoot that guy. You should heal him. Woljif, heal yourself now while you got a chance. And he's running away in fear. That's great. Victoria, come over here. I'm going to have you haste yourself. Woljif, get ready, buddy. Not quite. Okay. Now, can you pull that spell off? Ear-piercing scream. Does it have to be... Is it... one enemy creature within close range? And then what is it? Daze condition for... okay, so it's one... Oh, I'm the one who's got the spell that I wanted to use. This is all enemies in a 30-foot burst. Mind affecting compulsion. Right there. Woljif.
Stab you or zap you? Why
Shoot
not both?
that guy. Lan.
You won't
Start
survive
shooting
me.
that guy. Ember. Try to slumber him. Hypnotism. How many people did that affect? Sela. Okay. I'm going to turn your thing off and let you go. I'm going to turn your thing off and let you go. I am here. Boy, it's going to get chaotic real fast, isn't it? We're at what? 8 of 12. Okay, Woljif. Can you ear-piercing scream that thing? Okay, give it a try. Who are you heading for now? Head for this guy. Oh, she got him. Good. Lan, get over here. They're running.
Endure this.
Excellent. Ember. What am I doing? I should probably be free to go kill people. Sela, you're free. Go smite evil on him.
The light take you.
Ah, that's no good for me. Oh, did she get him? She feared him with her weapon. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, me, boss, go get that one. Sela, don't go that way. Who's left? Some punks over here.
Make every strike count.
Ember. Trying to make people
Distract them
sleepy.
for me.
Yeah, sure, you can do that. What else do we have here? Any other spells? Where am I at? Where's my character? He's right there. Oh, he's by himself? Seal, come here. Attack him, please. Woljif,
Time to share your treasures.
can you get over there? Lan. Okay, Lan, you need to be shooting these guys.
Cross the wrong mongrel.
Ember, you need to be shooting these guys.
Stop us.
I like how Victoria's like, I got guys really close to me, but I'm gonna go run after those other guys instead. What are you doing? You two ding-dongs? Get over here. Well, Jeff, yeah, sure on him. What about you? Good, everybody's on him. Fences, 4 of 12.
We can do it. I'm sorry I have to do this.
Yeah, you are. Is that it? Did we win? I said 4 of 12 was what I saw still standing. Hopefully that doesn't mean they destroyed the defender's heart. Oh, we're cheering. I think we did it. In 20 minutes. 25 minutes. That's nice. Didn't take 2 hours. Excellent. Quite happy about how that went, especially considering I didn't have any grease spells. Victory! Canabras bites back, and our teeth are sharp. Irbeth is glowing with zeal, and she raises her fists in triumph. Now we take the fight to them. How are our losses? Minimal. The battle wasn't easy, but thanks to you, we chewed them up and spat them out again. Though they thought they could break us, but they only bolstered our spirits. Will there be another attack? I doubt it. Demon aren't famed for their organization. We'll strike a blow at the Grey Garrison long before they regroup for a new assault. Congratulations. It wouldn't have been possible without you. That reminds me. We found this among the attacker's remains. This trophy rightly belongs to you. Nicely done. The heavy flail of weakness. Excellent. The game is saving by itself. Fantastic. Heavy flail of weakness. This will be a nice weapon to give to Socila when we ran into, and we've leveled up. What do you know? Okay, let's do this. Wizard Thessalonian Specialist. This will get us next level spells, so we'll do that. Get another dex. Put points in here. So now we get 2 spells, and there are a bunch of cool ones in this list here. Of particular importance to me is Blur, Mirror Image, and Protection from Alignment Communal. So Mirror Image is a must. Protection from Alignment Communal is a must. Sense Vitals is great, adds more sneak attack damage, and we'll grab Blur next time. More importantly, we can now cast that invisibility spell and see. So this is part of our abjuration, which is part of Thessalonian Specialists. So you automatically get 2 free ones of those. We're going to do 1 see invisibility and 1 mirror image so that when we go attack that guy, we can do that and keep all this stuff the same for now. Grease was a really, really useful spell in Pathfinder Kingmaker. It's less useful here. And I don't know if that's just because demons have such high stats that they tend not to fall down in it as often. But I found that it was great in Kingmaker, and I ended up not using it my next playthrough. Wizard Scroll Savant. She's going to take that all the way to the top. Yeah, so just adding it in there. That's fine. It's automatically doing that, but not Acid Arrow. Let's see. What do we want her to? Burning Arc. She's going to go Fire. So Molten Orb. A decent spell. We're going to have her summoning Monster Zoa and using Scorching Rays. Scorching Ray, nice. 1 ray plus 1 additional ray every 4 levels beyond 3rd. So a maximum of 3 rays at 11th level. So 3 rays is the most you'll ever get. Burning Arc, though, is nice because it jumps to additional targets, and it goes up a lot further. 1d6 per caster level up to a maximum of 10d6. So I like the damage it does. So that's going to be what she's going to pick. We're going to make her a fire person. Ember, Stigmatized Witch. Not a class that I know a lot about. Again, I don't... yeah, it's for role-playing purposes, she needs persuasion. I kind of want her to have lore religion more, but I got plenty of people who can do that. So, this acts as a Cure Light Wound spell using the witch's level. It's a nice one. She's also got other nice hexes like Misfortune and Fortune. Let me see here. Alright, Lan is our monk Zen archer, but we're going to give him, let's see. Oh no, I give him, what do I give him? Rogue Rowdy, so that he can get some sneak attack damage. He doesn't need weapon finesse, and this adds Vital Strike to him. As a standard action, you make one attack at your highest base attack bonus, deals additional damage. I don't care so much about that. Rowdy adds 2d6 additional damage per sneak attack die to the damage in his Vital Strike, though. This is precision damage, so that's kind of nice. But anyway, to get him some sneak attack damage, because it's really helpful early. So it's the only other class that I give him, and then he just goes monk archer the rest of the way. And I put his points in wisdom because you could start to use his wisdom score for other things instead of dex and strength. Since he's monk archer, it's a weird class to me. It doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense to me. But he's going to go rogue Eldritch Scoundrel all the way up to level 8, and then we'll turn him into an Eldritch Knight. But we probably won't use him very much. Yeah, I want to... Yep, all of those things. Perception, blah, blah, blah. Alright. Spells. They want to give him invisibility and mirror image. Well, I'm strong agreement on mirror image for him. And then, let's see. What else do we want him to have? Oh, he needs shield. Because he doesn't wear any armor. So, you go back here. Check out his spells. Level 1. We aren't going to use grease or sleep. We might use grease. But I'd like to have 2 of these, actually. Prismatic spray is really situational. But anyway, then he can just have his... So now he's on his way to being like an Eldritch Knight person. Shaman Spirit Hunter. She's another person that I give a rogue class to. And I think for her, because... Let's see. I never use her. So that's kind of the deal. Is let's look at her class and see what she already has for abilities. Because she probably already... She has weapon finesse. And she has a weapon focus on rapier. And she already has some rogue-like abilities. Because she does some trap and things like that. So I'm going to give her for some backstabby damage. Knife Master doesn't count because it's... she's using a sneak stab. Let's see. Sneak attack damage with daggers and similar weapons such as... I wish it would list the weapons. Oh, it says when she makes a sneak attack with a dagger, kukri, punchy knife, star, or sai. So it does list it. That's good. Okay, that's not great for her. I don't want bardic knowledge. She doesn't need weapon finesse because she's already have it. So I'm probably just going to give her rowdy too. What's the difference? Oh, thug has frightening. No, I don't care about that. Okay, so I'm just going to give her one of those. One level of that so she can have some sneak attack damage as well, even though we're probably never going to use her again. And that is... And now here's my 2 big boys. Okay. Spawn Slayer. This gets her her first sneak attack damage. So now she's done with Spawn Slayer and we can just go fight her the rest of the way, which is fantastic for her. Victoria. One of my favorites, mercenary character that I make. I just love her. She's awesome. And she gets her Slayer and gets her first sneak attack damage. So now she's done and we can make her a paladin the rest of the way. Which is awesome. Alright, so spells for everybody. I don't think she gets spells for a little while. Nope. His spells are done. Ember's spells are innate. She has a couple of spells I'm probably not going to be using her. She gets Bull Strength as a domain spell. If we were using her, we'd use her in place of Ember, so she'd have to do some healing. Ember. Nenio. Nenio's where it gets kind of fun. So for Nenio, these spells are not great. It's more useful for her if she can make someone else large a couple times, and then summon monsters for distractions. And then up here we get into her actual spells. We're going to give her 1 mirror image and 2 of those spells. And then I'm already done. Okay, we're ready to rest and move on. Rest and move on, my folks. And we don't have a scroll scribing kit, so we can't do it yet. And like I said before,
Heal and the power to maim. Don't you regret that your goddess made you a killer?
I only regret that the goddess didn't grant me the power to silence unwanted noises.
like I was saying before, the only scroll that I really like to scribe is mirror image. There just aren't enough components for it. And all the rest of the scrolls that my character can actually scribe, or that my wizard can actually scribe, are just not that big of a deal. So, making the character large is enlarge person. That's also a nice one to have in your pocket. But the rest of it is, the other thing to do is get your cleric to do it, to scribe scrolls, and they can come up with some useful ones. All right. Let's figure out where we're going to go next. We'll keep Ember because she's kind of like our primary healer for right now. So, we need to go do Woljif's quest, which I believe gets you Finny, the talking freak. Spotted enemies. We'll evade them. Woljif, stealth check succeeded. Good job. Nenio removes bite. I love it. There was somebody posted a thread on Reddit talking about Nenio and being a kitsune, and somebody was like, "Well, that's a spoiler." And somebody else below that posted, every time you move in and out of a zone, it says Nenio removes bite. I don't think it's a spoiler, dude. All right, here we go. Sister Charisma. The basement is dark, and you are immediately struck by the hostility of the gathered tieflings. 5 of them are kneeling along the wall separate from the rest. The tall woman, who had been cleaning her fingernails with the tip of her knife, greets you with narrowed eyes. Brother Woljif, you got my message then. Sorry I couldn't swing by sooner, dear Sister Charisma. It was just one thing after another. First, I was in shackles. Next, I was still in shackles, and I was being watched. Then the chief got me out, and I came here straight away. I knew you'd be waiting on me. Enough talking, or else we'll be here all night. So, we had a clear plan. We're going to wait for nightfall, slip into the shop, grab the goods, and leave. Even if the neighbors called the guard, there was time to get away. But what happened? Bitch, Iribeth showed up almost right away. She knew we'd be there. Someone betrayed us, and I have a good idea who it is. What do you have to say to that? Make it quick. Woljif, what happened? He speaks. I thought Woljif only brought you so I'd have someone to hide behind if things went south. What's there to tell? About a week ago, Sister Charisma got 6 of us together in this very basement. Me and those 5 over there. Woljif jerks his head towards the 5 thieflings kneeling by the wall. She rounds us up, and she says we've got a score. Ancientries and wonders. The one place nobody's ever been able to hit. The place is guarded by a golem. But now a powerful scroll that would knock out the golem just happened to come into our possession, along with the tip-off that the shop owner would be gone on a particular night. All 6 of us know a bit of magic, And we know that any enchanted junk will sell for a pretty penny, so we're in. And the most important thing was that none of us was to be hanging out about the shop ahead of the job. No casing out the place. No calling attention to ourselves from either the golem or its master. The job was top secret. That's all true so far. Go on. We did everything right with the locks and the golem. I picked the lock. I remember it clear as day. Sister Dalna was on the lookout. Brother Melrone had the scroll. Toffee, Tavy, and Varnier brought the sacks. We covered the windows and lit the torches. I remember scooping up rings and tossing them in a sack, and one right expensive one rolled away from me. I crawled under a table after it, and next thing I know, Erebeth was there. Everybody scampered, but I was still under the table. Not my finest moment. I was going to wait it out, but then those blockheads were dragging me out by my tail and put me in shackles. They took all my rings off me. About 20,000 worth. Add insult to injury, I never found the last one. In the end, I got busted over nothing. So they caught you, poor thing, stripped you of your loot, and you didn't even manage to stash anything. Where's the moon of the abyss, Brother Woljif? What's the moon of the abyss? It was an amulet. It used to sit on a little cushion in the window of Ancestries and Wonders. Sterling silver, sparkled like a star, fine piece of work. On one side there was a half moon, a crescent, a waning moon, and in the middle there was a dark crystal like it was eclipsing the moon. Old man Philemon was so proud of that amulet. He used to say, I'll never sell it. It's the jewel of my collection. I used to go there to see what kind of treasures there were in the world. There's nothing else to look at in Canabras. People used to claim it was a powerful thing, but who's to say? If you ever stole a thing like that, you'd have the guards on you the second you tried to fence it. Everybody knew that you were always hanging around Ancestries and Wonders, drooling over the moon, the abyss. Did you think you could swipe it in all the commotion and keep it for yourself? Did you hope that we'd all be locked up and you'd get off scot-free, and with a fancy trinket to boot? Don't take me for a mug, Woljif. I see right through you. Yeah, but why would Erebeth arrest her own informant? Took the words right out of my mouth. It doesn't make sense. If I was a rat, I'd have kissed her on the hand and been long gone by now. You know me, sister. I'm a cautious fella, not an idiot. Why would I go against the family? So the fish in this selling can have a nice Woljif-sized dinner? The moon of the abyss is a pretty bauble, to be sure, but it's just an amulet. It ain't worth dying over. You knew Erebeth's people would protect you. You knew you could pin the moon going missing on them, and now you've come here with backup. You knew exactly what I was going to say to you. Only problem is nobody's returned the amulet to Philemon. Are you giving Erebeth a cut? Is that it? Have you seen her? Do you think she'd take a cut of anything I offered her? She can't be bought. She's like 3 heralds of Iomine rolled into one. He speaks the truth. You find some knights who'll take bribes. I'm sorry to say, but Erebeth Tirabate isn't one of them. That's the whole sorry story. Some family this turned out to be. It's just a name in the end. In a real family, people take each other at their word. They don't throw around accusations. I didn't take the moon of the abyss. What am I going to do with it? You can't sell it to no crusaders. It's a special item. You can't wear it. It'll get nicked. It's pretty to look at, sure, but it ain't that pretty. If it's that important to you, Sister Charismate, I'll find it. And I'll drag the traitor here by his horns, just so you don't end up at the bottom of the selling. But do you know what you're going to owe me for that? An apology. Right here in front of everyone. You're going to apologize loud and clear so everybody hears it. You'll say, sorry, Woljif. You're a good guy, and I was wrong about you. Fine. You're one of my people, which is why I'm going to give you some time. But if you run, Brother Woljif, the family will get you wherever you go. You'll spend the rest of your life looking over your shoulder, tossing and turning at night, fearing poison in every cup and every meal. You'll look into the eyes of every tiefling you meet, wondering if the family's come for you. You'll have no peace. But one day, you'll be tired of running. You'll stop to catch your breath. That's when it will get you. Got it? You have a way with words, sister. A way that almost made me wet myself. But a way nonetheless. Let's go, Chief. We'll go chat to that scary gal, Irabeth. She knows you will. We can ask her who ratted us out. I'll let you do the talking. We'll find the real traitor. And I'll get my apology. Onward to Irabeth, Chief. Let's go clear my good name. Root out the traitor, but be quick about it. Time's running out. I don't want to get chewed up by demons. Off we go. With a tiefling that's not telling the whole truth. But you knew that. Back to the Defender's Heart. Canabras. I like this. It's nice. Act 1 of the game. It's a very good act. Just lots of adventuring around this city. Going from place to place. To me, this is when the game is at its best. Imprisonment begins in one's own mind. Yeah. It can begin behind bars. So don't be trying to get all philosophical with me on that one. Bafflement. Goat Boy. Meh. Anybody remember Goat Boy from Saturday Night Live? Any success? How was the city? I found Jana Aldori like you asked. Yes, thank you. It's good to have her back. We need every fighter we can get. I suppose it's asking too much to want fighters that are sober as well. There's a traitor I'm trying to track down. Who is your informant among the thieflings? Canabras is threatened by a demon horde, and you have a spare time to help out thieves. I don't like this, but I hope you know what you're doing. I'll tell you everything I know. I did not see my informant's face. He slipped out of a dark alley, handed me the note, and disappeared. He had a cloak with a hood masking his face, but the horns, the long horns, didn't fit under it. There should be a guardian golem in Ancestries and Wonders, the shop they tried to rob. The owner gave us the construct's code word just in case. The golem itself is destroyed, but the head seems to be intact. Is the golem's name Ash? So you can interrogate the thing and find out what it saw. The code word is Hand of Aurori. The shop's owner must have escaped, but there's a chance you'll get lucky with the golem. All right. Thanks. Ancestries and Wonders. Well, off we go. I was pronouncing it Ancestries. I don't know what I was thinking. My brain was... Let's blame it on the COVID. That's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I'm just going to blame stuff on COVID. The COVID got me. All right. Off we go. And it's over here. Not far away. Excellent. Hey, can we get to the Black Ring Library from there? Failed to sneak past enemies. Is it more bloat flies or is it cultists? It's probably cultists. Oh, it's a sure. Okay.
Cover me, all right?
Yeah, don't save that. You might need it for later. Oh. Oh, look at that. Sneak attack from Silo 21. Doink. You can see. So she gets the 1d6 4 negative damage from the weapon she's using and 4 from slashing sneak. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Like I said, it's not terribly useful later. Later in the game is when we really want to do crit damage. But early in the game, the sneak attack is beneficial in my opinion. I like having that extra damage. Alright. Let's see. Woljif, my friend, what do you got here? Uh-oh. We have someone screaming for help. There he is.
What's that?
Scroll of blessing.
Free at last.
I thought I'd be flattened like a pancake under that rubble. Much obliged. Damn, I'm not in any pain, but my head is still foggy for some reason. What's with all the hubbub in the city? The name's Finian. I'm a Pathfinder. If there's anything I can do to help, I will.
You're a Pathfinder?
That's right, Finian Dismar, Pathfinder and Crusader. I roam around the world wound wherever my tasks lead me. Scouting mostly, but this last while I've just been hanging around in Canabras, waiting until I'm needed again. I'm bored out of my mind, but at least this shop makes for better lodging than some inn.
Oh, Finian. What I meant was, what are you?
What's that supposed to mean? I just told you. You want to know where I hail from, is that it? Well, I'm from around here, actually. We Kelets of the Star Eye clan fled when the World Wound troubles began. But I couldn't stand by while the demons wreaked havoc, so I came back. Or did you mean to ask about my weapon of choice? My best weapon is every weapon. I'm a skilled and capable fellow, if I do say so myself. I can swing a sword and poke with a spear, but what I am best at is communing with the spirits. They call folks like me Phantom Blades.
It reminds me a lot of the talking sword from Baldur's Gate 2, which always cracked me up. A Phantom Blade, what's that?
It's like a spiritualist, but with a twist. It means that some spirit took a liking to me at some point, and it can turn into whatever weapon I need. Handy, eh? I don't need any whetstones or enchantments. Doesn't take up space either. Although, to be fair, it's not a barrel of laughs. The spirits that bestow this kind of power don't come from happy places, and they're not exactly bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. They usually appear after great battles that leave few survivors.
How did you end up in this shop?
I've been waiting here so long I don't even remember anymore. Just sitting and waiting for any word from the Pathfinders, but it looks like everyone has forgotten about me. The shop owner is an old friend of the Pathfinders, so I've taken up residence here.
The city is attacked by demons.
Wait, what? The last thing I saw was some thieves breaking in here. And then the guards came, everyone was running around. After that, it's a bit of a blur. Right when things got intense, they dropped the cabinet on me. I couldn't even help the owner. I was just lying under the shelves like a dimwit until you came along.
It's so funny that he still thinks he's human.
If there are demons in Canabras, we must do something about it. The city needs every blade it can get. Hey, do you mind taking me with you? I don't think I can handle this alone. And besides, the more the merrier.
Of course.
I swear you won't regret it. I can do all sorts of things. Is there anything your party is missing? A sword, a spear, a bow? Just say the word.
Yep, so now you get Finian, which is very cool. You can talk to him and you can say, I need a kukri. H-I-J-K. So he's a cold iron ghost touch enhancement +1. The sad thing about Finian is he gets worse as time goes by. He gets higher enchantment to +3 and then +5, but his awesomeness drops off, and there are much better kukris later in the game. So it's kind of sad, but for now, he'll do. He's very, very nice to have around. I like that he can change into any weapon. That part is particularly cool to me. Loot, there's a demonic heart. Some scrolls have been torn apart, and some have been trodden by muddy boots. The polished oak shelves once showcased magic rings and amulets. Now all that's left are grubby handprints of robbers. Those robbers. Oh, what did we get? There's a ting over here. Ting. There we go. It's just a gold ring. The polished oak shelves. Once, yeah. Same thing. Okay. What do we have over here? Unique weapons and antique armor were previously displayed in these stands. It's unlikely their new owners even know their true value. Master. Code word. Hand of Aurori. Code word correct. Awaiting orders. Tell me about any suspicious people who came to this shop last week. 56 individuals entered the shop. Human, female, old. Gnome, male, old. Human, female. He'll be reeling off customers all nightfall. We need to ask in a different way. Were any of the suspicious people tieflings? Tieflings, free. Tiefling male, middle-aged. Tiefling male, young. Tiefling female, young. Describe the young male. Medium height, short horns curling backward, medium length tail. Eye color yellow, hair color black. Special observations. Annoyed master. That's our boy. Horns, terror. Hey, that sounds like me. But it's not possible. I know what the security's like here. I didn't come near the place. I give you my word, Chief. No special observations. Subject was unremarkable. There, see? Can't happen me. Tiefling male, medium height, long horns, medium length tail. Eye color pale blue, skin dark. Special observations, red hair. Oh, that's our traitor. I bet your life on it. Kara's maid drilled it into our heads that we wasn't to go hanging about the shop. Red hair. We got a couple gingers, and plenty more who get it out of a bottle. So much for a special observation. Golems ain't all that cracked up to be, eh? Maybe its master knows more. Describe the female. Above average height, hair long, pale, tail not observed, long horns, eye color blue. Special observations, scar on nose, baldric with gold stitching. I don't know that one. A new arrival, most likely. Gold stitching, eh? Wouldn't mind getting to know her a little better. Alright. Where's your master? Philemon Frulataros. My master is in his hiding place. Revealing the location of the hiding place is prohibited. Prohibited. He likely holed himself up in the basement when the commotion started. The entrance should be around here somewhere. Where's the basement of this place? The basement is below me. I guard the basement. Leaving my post is prohibited. Alright. So. Oh. Never mind. There we go. Move the golem. Lan athletically moves it. Let's get this stuff though first. Doink. A seashell. Oh, and it's our little buddy, Pipe Fox. Pipe Fox is fun. Pipe Fox gives you +3 insight bonus to knowledge arcana and a +2 insight bonus to perception skills, which is useful to us as the person who's trying to see traps and things of that nature. So, oh, no, didn't want to click that. Over here. Actually, who has the highest perception? I have a 9. Woljif's got a 9. Oh, and he has the 13. Oh, okay. And knowledge arcana, she's got a 10. His is 4, and mine is 8. So I'm going to leave the Pipe Fox on me for a little while. And our bossy pants is going to be over here. Pick it, my friend. Yes. What do we have here? There he is. Marauders, bandits, scavengers. Yeah, makes sense. We're all of those things, and much, much more. Before you report us to the authorities, mind if we have a chat? Please, calm down. No one is going to rob you. You do look better dressed than the local thieves and ragamuffins. You came here to tell me that the nightmare is over? No, it's not. You're here to steal my riches. Get back! The gnome notices Woljif, and his rounded face turns scarlet. You, Woljif, the dirty little sneak thief. You've been sniffing around my shop for years. Finally worked up the courage to rob me, did you? Get out of here. You and your pals have taken everything I'm sure. My name's Philemon Friliatros. I was the owner of this shop, but I'm not sure I can claim to be owner of anything now. There's at least something left of it. Oh, come off it. Your shop's fine. It's a bit ransacked, maybe, but nothing a bit of spit and polish can't fix. Where were you the night of the robbery? Do you think I robbed my own shop? I was here in the basement. I was told to make it look like I'd left. The Watch was very keen to get their hands on those tieflings. They seem to be multiplying all over Galarian. So of course I did everything they said, and I've been stuck in the basement since then. The golem wouldn't move away from the door no matter how much I yelled at it. But then I thought that it was all too good. Somebody came by after the guards and caused a ruckus upstairs, bellowing like mad, taking advantage of my absence. Tell me about the tieflings that have visited ancients. Tell me, why should I tell you anything about my customers? You're not from the City Guard or the Eagle Watch. Chief, if he keeps digging his heels in, just say the word. I know how to lose this in his tongue. I'm helping the Evil Watch to catch the culprits. It's in your interest to tell me everything. What did we succeed with? It was a 20 and we rolled a 10. Nice. So, they haven't got the thieflings. I thought the city's finest were on the job. You can't rely on anyone. Ask your questions then, if it's so important. Tell me about the red-haired tiefling. A red-haired tiefling. I suppose, yes, there was one who came in, spent a long time looking around. He was a person of modest means, I could tell by his clothes. But he asked me to show him an Asimar-made chainmail. He certainly couldn't afford it. That's when I suspected that something was off. I checked everything after he left, but nothing was missing, and that put my mind at ease. I can't remember what he looked like. I didn't get a good look at his face. All I remember is that he was wrapped in a green cloak like he was freezing, but that's all I have. That's it. With that description, we'll surely sniff him out. Come on, Chief. Back to Sister Care's May we go, to have a good, long shifty at all my brothers and put all these clues together. Something tells me our traitor is going to wriggle out of this one. Tell me about the tiefling woman. Tiefling woman, yes, I remember now. A noble lady, but I don't think she's part of the thing, so. Tell me about Woljif. All right. Well, we're on our way. And for some reason, while I was recording this episode, my cough just kept getting worse and worse and worse. So, it's probably a good thing we're ending. We are going to exit. Yep, where are we at here? So I head back to the Tieflings. I'll see you all on the next episode. As always, if you dig it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave questions and comments down below. See you next time, everyone.